some extraordinary accomplishments from 2019. We did some crazy cool things. 2020 is going to be extraordinary. You've already seen kind of the leading indicators of that as we've had an amazing January. We broke a lot of records with new clients, new opportunities, 85,000 in 1 month. First person to beat Holly at one of those things. Good job, Jeff. Just a lot of really cool things you're already starting to happen, but that we're scratching the surface on that. What Tony talked about with this content stuff, we're now in the media business, and we're not looking back. You see people that start off on this and they fizzle out after 2 or 3 or 4 months. We're putting some wood behind this, and it's going to change the complexion of our firm and of your practice. It's going to promote you in ways that you never would have imagined. We're just scratching the surface on that. 2020 is going to be another one of those watershed years, but it's going to look a lot different than 2019. We're not going to grow as much. We're pulling back on the throttle a little bit to kind of build our foundation a little bit deeper and to get Illinois some momentum and get them growing down there. So it's going to look a little different. But there's there's 3 things that you all can expect. I'm putting it out there for you. We're recording it. This is kind of new too, right? Kind of figuring this out. But there's 3 things that you can expect as attorneys and paralegals and support team here this year, okay? One is that you can expect that you're going to be able to live your purpose. We're building a firm that's designed and built around empowering family law clients. And I've interviewed every one of you lawyers here before you came, every one of you, looking around, make sure. And I asked you all pretty much the same questions. If you remember, maybe it was Starbucks, maybe it was on Zoom, or maybe it was in our office, but I asked you, one of the questions I asked you was this: why do you want to do family law? You have a lot of other things you could be doing. Why family law? And almost to a person, I think you all gave me the variation of the same answer. I want to help people. These people are going through heartache, hard times in their life, and I want to be there for them. I want to help them through that because that gives me energy. And what you're expressing to me there is my purpose is to help people. That's what you told me. So we're building a firm that's designed around that. And everything that we do is filtered through that lens, that filter of how can we build something that enables our team to empower family law clients. And we've built a machine and a system that's going to give you tons and tons of opportunities to do that. You're never going to wonder, where's the next client coming from? You just clear your calendar, and they're going to show up. 109 of them last week on your calendar. So we're going to help you live your purpose, your professional purpose at least, right? Second thing that you can expect is that you, in this business, in this firm, with this team, with those around that you are locking arms with, you are going to be able to master your craft. The lawyers in this room, you went to school for 4 years plus 3 years. That's 7 years. That's 1/10 of your life, statistically, or roundabout, right? You've chosen a profession. You've chosen a craft. And I'm telling you right now, I do not believe there is another environment on the planet for you to become better at your family law legal craft than right here. I don't think there's another firm out there. I know what Cordell does from what we've been told. I know there's a few other firms out there, but no one is going to give you the environment that nurtures that, the tools to help you do that, the support to help you do that, the encouragement, the high expectations. That's something. You cannot be excellent at the top of your game without other people. We need each other. No sole practitioner can be excellent on his or her own. It takes other people pushing them and helping them, coaching them, encouraging them. When you have that, when you get kicked in the mouth for something that you know the judge or the commissioner should not have done, and you come back to the office and you're basically in tears, your heart is heavy because you know that client just left with a soul that's crushed, and you want to tell someone about that, they're right there with you. They're doing the same thing you're doing. They're not doing transactional stuff or running a criminal court. They're doing the same thing you're doing. So you're around these relationships that are supporting you, that are building you up, that are pushing you forward, that are holding you accountable, that are encouraging you to get better. That's a special, special environment. And those of you who are new, some of you have colleagues that maybe you started out of law school roughly the same time with. I promise you, watch the needle. Every year that goes by, you're going to get a little bit better than them because you're in an environment that's going to nurture that growth. It's going to get a little bit better. Today is all about a skill that's not going to show up in a CLE. But I'm telling you, it's going to show up in relationships that you take home with you and that you have in the workplace. It's all about a very important skill to build relationships and build connection with clients, with loved ones, with spouses, all that sort of stuff. No firm is going to take that kind of investment and take a day. The most expensive day of the year is right here. Where no business is getting done, right? We're working on our craft, okay? That's unique. And we get to enjoy that. We get to do that together, right? So first thing is you're going to get to live your purpose this year. You're going to get to master your craft, hone it a little bit more, sharpen it, make those edges a little bit sharper. You're going to get to do that, thirdly, with autonomy and flexibility that we're going to continue to double down on, okay? You're going to get to practice within your autonomy, your time flexibility, ability to do things. There's a few things that we ask of you relative to that. But to support that autonomy, to support that flexibility, there's a couple of policies that we've instituted. One is transparency. We believe that if we put everything out there, we don't hide the ball on you. We show you all of our financial numbers. Anyone in the firm can click a link on the Monday memo and see what we're doing. Everybody. We do that because, yeah, there's risk to it. There's risk that someone's going to share it. There's risk that they're going to perceive it wrong or they're going to get jealous or whatever. But the upside of that is that we're building trust. We know that costs something to do that. And we're trying to accelerate the trust building between you and us and each other and that sort of thing. And we don't hide the ball there. And that gives you the freedom to know, hey, I know what's going on, okay? You also, because of the system that we've built to support our team, you're going to have clients. You're going to be able to make money. You're going to have income. You're going to be able to build financial success within our system. That gives you autonomy. Those give you options, right? Having that kind of autonomy and that kind of flexibility. So what we're trying to build and what we want you to expect from us, the promises that we are making to you today and going forward, is you're going to be able to live your purpose, you're going to be able to hone and master your craft, you're going to have the autonomy and flexibility to do those things, okay? But like everything, it's a two-way street, right? There's some things that we expect from you, and I want to kind of lay out what that may look like in 2020, what those expectations are going to consist of, okay? One is that we are understanding the power and the client experience improvement that comes from having a proven process that works, okay? And the first one that you've really kind of been exposed to has been the console process. It's taken us 1.5 years to get where we're at today because we had a lot of stuff we had to figure out, okay? And we've got a ton of buy-in on that. I want to thank you and I'm grateful for that because our client experience has gone up as a result of that. But that's the first of it. Holly's working on a process to help us with quoting, to have more consistency around that and give you more security to know that, hey, you're doing it within a range and you got a process for that. Janelle's working on that for the divorce process. We wanted to process that whole thing out, okay? So we can have some consistency in how we manage a divorce process through the whole thing, okay? Now that's going to demand of you emotionally, okay? That's going to demand of you, some of you are in a reactionary mindset for your cases and your velocity. You react rather than be proactive. Okay, we're gonna work with you to help you shift that mindset to being proactive and moving cases through quicker. That's not a lawyer thing, okay? Most of the lawyers, half the lawyers you deal with are below average, right? Okay? And a lot of them perform that way. They're reactionaries. They don't care. It's a lot different than in our system, okay? So we're gonna ask you to give up some of that shoot from hip type approach that we've taken, some of the reactionary versus proactive mindset, okay? That's one of the things that we're gonna be working on hard this year that we expect, okay? The next one here, you all know this, but I'm going to ask you throughout this year, stay engaged with our sterling stuff, okay? The stuff that you know other people, the other firms aren't having to do, go into L10s, okay? We need that, okay? That's 1 hour a week for us to work on our craft, work on our practice. It's not too much to ask, I believe. Hey, to detach from that, put your phone down, turn it off, turn off Slack, put your computer down, work on your craft for 1 hour. Then go back out there and be amazing the other 39 hours that you've got devoted toward that, okay? What that also looks like are those surveys. Okay, that takes 10, 15 minutes, but it's one more thing. I get that. Let me tell you this, we're sensitive to asking you for stuff. We don't put something out there to ask you without debating it because we know it builds up like plaque, okay? We're careful about that. We know you're busy, you're working really hard, you're serving, you're loving on clients, okay? But those surveys, those engagement surveys that come out, I'm telling you, I pour over every word multiple times. I can almost repeat it all back to you. And we put it out there for you because we want to get better. We want to hear from you on how we can improve to serve you and provide better support. And so we're asking you to stay engaged with those sort of things, okay? What you can also expect this year are expectations. Expectations that are going to be unfair, I'm telling you right now. Outsiders are going to have unfair expectations of you. We're seeing that already. And here's what that looks like. Oh, you're on Sterling. They don't like that because we are taking market share from them. We are requiring them to think about how to improve their practice, and that means they have to change, and they don't like that. So they say stuff like, oh, you're unethical because you market so much. Or fixed fee is unethical because you don't give all the client the service that they need. Okay, we're hearing crap like that. Or you're not handling X, Y, and Z better or whatever. Okay, those are unfair expectations that are going to be untrue because there's a target on your back now, in Wisconsin in particular. There is a target on your back. On the other hand, there's a halo that comes with that because we're going to put out such quality across the board that we're going to build a reputation for each other that's going to lift all the boats, okay? A tide lifts all the boats. Okay, externally, unfair expectations. Internally, high expectations. We're going to continue to push each other to get better because we want to, and I'm asking, this is a mutual straight. One of my last points is we want to be pushed too as leaders because we need that from you, all right? So high expectations internally, and you'll see more about what that looks like and how we define that going forward. Another expectation that we want from you is that we, as the leadership team, the managing partners, okay, Kelly, me, and those of the other in the managing positions, we want you, and we're demanding of you, and we're asking of you to hold us accountable. Okay, that's not just on performance numbers. That's not just on promises that we make to you. That's on behavior, that's on attitude, that's on how we treat each other. Okay, we expect that and demand that back. This isn't like a top-down deal. We're asking you to do things, we want you to demand from us and expect us to do that and call crap or call BS or whatever the case is when we're not doing that, okay? Like right now, we're going through this whole discussion point on adjusting our comp. Well, we want to be as transparent and as open and as out there as we possibly can and take our time, be slow, massage it. Let's get a lot of input. Let's get 27 opinions back on how we do this right to take care of it so you can not have to worry about taking care of your family and your financial obligations. The last thing here from an expectation standpoint is that we grew a lot last year, right? We doubled. We doubled. That's amazing. Firms just don't do that in a given year. But we doubled last year. You all did that. This year we're not going to quite double as much, but we're still going to see a ton of growth. And that comes with expectations of each other from a standpoint of that we need to embrace that growth professionally, personally as lawyers, as teammates, as business people. That asks a lot of us. And let me tell you this. I know Tony and I have proven one thing. We've proven that we can build a firm to 27 lawyers and 59 people. We've proven that. Big deal. We have not proven that we can lead effectively a team that's going to grow to 100 or 200 or 300. We haven't proven that yet. I don't know if I'm the leader that's going to be able to do that, and Tony doesn't know that either. We have to keep growing. We're pushing each other really, really hard to get better. Let me tell you right this. The only reason, this is true, the only reason that Tony and I are the top leaders in the firm is because we got here first. That's it. We got here first. All right? That does not mean that we deserve to be that next generation of leader because we owe it to you all to keep getting better. And if we're not the ones that's going to be able to lead the team to success so you all have personal success, then we need to go. And him and I have that commitment to each other. We know that if I slack off, I'm not able to grow, I hit my lid, I'm not able to carry that forward, he's got permission to come to me with a group of other people and say, Jeff, you need to kick yourself upstairs and be the chairman or something because you're not keeping up. All right? That's going to look different for all of us, all right? But from an individual standpoint of embracing growth, what got us here is not what's going to get us there. And you saw kind of the leading part of that with the stuff that Ron and that Mark are doing. So this year, You're going to get to live your purpose. You're going to get to master your craft. You're going to have enhanced autonomy and flexibility that you never dreamed of. It's going to get better as we build more systems with our FDS team and stuff behind that to do those two things. Okay, but what we expect in return, embrace that growth, engage with our systems, hold us accountable. Okay, those are all things that we expect.
Thank you for watching. We strive to bring you the very best family law content, stories from our communities, and insights into building a healthy and strong family. Please leave your comments below and tell us what you think about what we're sharing.